All right. So you're here because you say your sister-in-law stole money meant for your son's education. That's a heavy accusation. How much are we talking about?
$4,850, ma'am. It was in a savings account under my son's name, but I had the card. When I went to pay for his summer semester books, the account was drained, completely empty.
Drained. A savings account. So this wasn't cash in a cookie jar. This was in a financial institution. Who had access to this account, Ms. Morrison?
My son, ma'am, Jaden, he's 17, but he didn't do this. He's a good kid. He gave me the card months ago because he doesn't even think about it. I kept it in my wallet.
So if the card was in your wallet and your son didn't do it, how does the defendant, your sister-in-law, get her hands on it?
She was staying with us for a few weeks after her divorce. She was helping around the house. I thought she was helping. I left my purse on the counter one night, and she must have taken the card then.
You thought she was helping. Now you think she was stealing. That's a big leap from family support to larceny. Ms. Davenport, let's hear it from you.
Ma'am, this is ridiculous. I didn't steal anything. Tanya is bitter because I moved out after she tried to control every aspect of my life. The money? Her son gave me that card himself.
Oh, that is a lie. He's 17. Why would he give you his college savings?
Ms. Davenport, you just said the son gave you the card. Why would a 17-year-old hand over a bank card with nearly $5,000 on it to his aunt?
Because he felt sorry for me, ma'am. I had just left my husband. I had nothing. I was sleeping on their couch. Jaden and I have always been close. He wanted to help me get on my feet.
He wanted to help you get on your feet with $4,850. That's a very generous 17-year-old. Where exactly are these feet now?
I have a studio apartment in North Hollywood. I'm working as a server. I used that money to pay the security deposit, first month's rent, and to get a used car so I could get to work. I'm not a thief. I was desperate.
So you admit you used the money. You're not disputing that you took the funds from the account.
No, ma'am, I'm not disputing I used it. I'm disputing that I stole it. Jaden gave it to me. It was a gift. A gift from a nephew who loves his aunt.
A gift. Ms. Morrison, did you know your son was giving away his college fund to his aunt?
Of course not. I would have stopped it. That money was for his future. It was from his father's life insurance. I worked 2 jobs to add to it. He knows that.
So the source of the money is important. It's not just birthday money. It's a legacy from a deceased father and a mother's sacrifice. Ms. Davenport, did you know where that money came from?
I knew it was from his dad's insurance, but it was in Jaden's name. He was the owner. He said it was his to do with what he wanted. He wanted to help me. He said his dad would have wanted him to help family.
He said that. Did he put that in a text message? Do you have any proof besides your word that this was a gift and not a theft?
I have text messages, yes. We text all the time. I can show you where he told me to take the card and use it.
Let me see them. Hand those to the clerk. Actually, there's no clerk. Hand them to me. You, Ms. Morrison, you're going to want to see these.
I've seen some of them. He was just being sympathetic. He's a kid. She manipulated him.
I'm reading. It says, Aunt Linda, just take the card. I know you need it. I'll figure out school later. That's what it says. This is from Jaden to you?
Yes, ma'am. That's the one.
And your response, you said, are you sure, baby? I don't want to cause problems with your mom. And then he says, don't worry about her. She's just stressed. This is between us.
That doesn't prove anything except she was using him. He's a child. He doesn't understand the value of money like that. He was just trying to be nice, and she took advantage.
Ms. Morrison, did you speak to your son about this before you filed a lawsuit against his aunt?
Yes, he was embarrassed. He said he just wanted to help, but he didn't think she would take it all. He thought she'd just take what she needed for a bus pass or something.
He didn't think she would take it all, but the text don't put a limit on it. It says, take the card. Ms. Davenport, you drained the account in 3 separate withdrawals, 2 at ATMs and 1 at a bank teller. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am. I needed the deposit and the first month's rent, which was a money order. I had to go to the bank for that. The ATM had a daily limit, so I had to go back.
And at no point did you think, maybe I should call my 17-year-old nephew and clarify if draining his entire life savings was what he had in mind?
I guess I should have. But he was being so generous, and I was just so happy to have a place to go. I wasn't thinking about the long term. I was just thinking about surviving.
Surviving. You were surviving on your nephew's college fund. Meanwhile, his mother was still working 2 jobs to fill it. Did you have a job at the time you were staying with them?
I had just quit my job. My ex-husband, it was a toxic situation. I had to leave.
You quit your job, then you moved in with your brother's widow and her son. They fed you, housed you, and then you took their money. Ms. Morrison, when did you find out?
I went to pay for his textbooks online and the transaction was declined. I thought it was a mistake. I called the bank and they told me the account was at zero. I literally felt sick. I called Linda and she told me Jaden had given her the card. I asked Jaden and he broke down crying. He said she told him she was going to be homeless.
He broke down crying. That's not the reaction of a teenager who made a mature, informed decision to give away his future.
He was crying because his mother was screaming at him. She has a temper, ma'am. She was calling him stupid, saying he ruined his life. Of course he was upset.
Is that true, Ms. Morrison? Did you call your son stupid?
I was in shock. I might have said things I regret, but I was looking at 4 years of savings gone in a week. I was terrified. I apologized to him. We're okay now. He knows I'm not angry at him. I'm angry at her.
We're going to bring him in, the son. I want to hear from the source. You said you have him here?
Yes, ma'am, he's outside.
Bring him in. Let's get him in here. Jaden, come here. Have a seat. Now, you're 17. You understand you're under oath. You tell me the truth and only the truth. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Your mother says you gave your bank card to your Aunt Linda. Did you?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Why?
She was staying with us. She was crying all the time. She said her husband left her with nothing. She said she didn't know where she was going to go. I wanted to help.
Did she ask you for the card?
Not directly. She said she was looking at apartments, but she didn't have the money for the deposit. She said she was going to have to live in her car. I told her I had some money in my account. I offered.
You offered. How much did you think was in the account?
I knew it was around $4,000. I thought she'd take maybe $1,000, enough for a deposit on a cheap place. I didn't know she was going to take all of it.
Did you tell her to take all of it? Or did you say, take what you need for a deposit?
I said, take the card, use it for what you need. I didn't say a specific amount. I thought it was obvious she wouldn't empty the whole account. That money was for school.
Ms. Davenport, did you have a conversation with your nephew about the amount?
He said, take the card, Aunt Linda. That's what he said. He didn't put a limit on it. In my mind, he was giving me what he had. I was grateful.
Jaden, you're looking at your aunt. Is that what you intended, to give her everything?
No, ma'am, I didn't. I thought she would just take what she needed to get an apartment. I didn't know she would take it all. When my mom told me the account was empty, I felt like I was going to throw up.
Did you call your aunt when you found out?
I texted her. I said, Aunt Linda, why did you take all the money? She said, you told me to take the card. I needed it. Don't tell your mom.
Don't tell your mom. Ms. Davenport, you told a 17-year-old to keep a secret about thousands of dollars from his mother?
I knew she would overreact. I was planning to pay him back. I just needed a few months to get on my feet. I didn't want him to get in trouble with her.
You were planning to pay him back. Have you paid anything back?
I gave him $200 last month for his birthday.
$200 on a $4,850 debt. That's not a payment plan. That's a birthday gift. Jaden, do you think your aunt was going to pay you back?
She said she would, but she never talked about it again. After my mom found out, she blocked my aunt on my phone. I haven't talked to her since.
Ms. Morrison, why did you block her on his phone?
Because she was manipulating him. She was texting him, saying things like, your mom is being crazy. You're almost 18. You can do what you want. I wasn't going to let her turn my son against me after she stole from us.
Let me see those texts. You have them, Ms. Davenport?
I don't have them anymore. She blocked me, and I got a new phone.
Convenient. Jaden, do you remember what your aunt texted you after your mother found out?
She said my mom was controlling and that she was just trying to help me become an adult. She said I should stand up to her. It made me feel bad, like I was choosing between them.
So she was trying to drive a wedge between you and your mother, the woman who was working 2 jobs to support you while she was living in an apartment she bought with your money.
That's not fair, ma'am. I was trying to have a relationship with my nephew. His mother was isolating him. I was just being there for him.
You were being there for him by taking his money and telling him to lie to his mother. That's not being there for a child. That's using a child. Now, Ms. Morrison, you're suing for the full amount, $4,850. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I want it back. I have to figure out how to pay for his tuition now. I've been picking up extra shifts, but I'm exhausted.
You have a receipt for the tuition you were trying to pay?
Yes. I brought the bookstore receipt for the books I couldn't buy and the tuition statement from the community college. It shows the balance due.
Let me see that. This is for the fall semester. Total cost of tuition and fees is $3,200. The books were another $400. That's $3,600. So the remaining money was for what?
The rest was for his spring semester, ma'am. I was trying to get ahead. He's a good student, but I didn't want him to have to worry about loans.
So the money represented a concrete plan. It wasn't just a slush fund. Ms. Davenport, do you have any of this money left?
No, ma'am. I spent it. I got the apartment. I got the car. I've been living paycheck to paycheck since then. I can't give her what I don't have.
You can't give her what you don't have, but you had no problem taking what she did have. Let's talk about the car. What kind of car did you buy?
It's a 2012 Honda Civic. I paid $2,800 for it.
You bought a car with your nephew's college money. Did he know you were going to buy a car?
I needed transportation to work. He knew I needed a car.
I didn't know she was going to buy a car. I thought she was just going to get an apartment. When I saw she got a car, I was shocked.
You were shocked? Jaden, is that when you told your mother?
No, my mom saw a picture on Facebook. Her friend saw my aunt posted a picture of the car. That's how she found out. She showed me the picture and asked if I gave her the money. I had to tell her the truth.
So your mother found out from a Facebook post? Ms. Davenport, you're posting pictures of the car you bought with your nephew's stolen college fund on social media?
I was excited. It was my first car since the divorce. I didn't think about it like that. It was a gift from Jaden.
It wasn't a gift. A gift is given freely with full knowledge and consent. A 17-year-old who is crying because his savings are gone is not giving consent. He was taken advantage of. Plain and simple.
He's not a baby, ma'am. He's almost an adult. He knew what he was doing.
He's not a baby, but he's not an adult either. He's a child living in his mother's home, dependent on his mother's income. He made a foolish, generous mistake because he has a good heart. You, his aunt, exploited that. You exploited a child's kindness for your own benefit.
I didn't exploit him. I love him. He's my nephew.
If you loved him, you would have called his mother. You would have said, Tanya, Jaden offered to help me. Can we talk about this? You didn't do that. You took the card, you drained the account, and you told him to keep it a secret. That is not love. That is theft.
I was going to pay him back. I just needed time.
You've had time. How long has it been since you took the money?
About 8 months.
8 months. In 8 months, you have given him $200 for his birthday. You have a car, you have an apartment, you have a job, you have paid nothing else. Have you even offered to give the car back?
I need the car to get to work.
Jaden needed that money to go to school. Now his mother is working extra shifts, and he's worried about whether he can afford his textbooks. That's the reality of what you did. Ms. Morrison, do you have the bank statements showing the withdrawals?
Yes, ma'am. I printed them out. You can see the dates. It was 3 days after Jaden gave her the card. She took it all within a week.
Let me see those. Yes, 200 here, 400 there, and then a money order for $4,250. That's the bulk of it. Ms. Davenport, where did you get a money order for that amount?
At the bank. I went to the teller. I told them I needed a money order for the apartment deposit and first month's rent.
So you knew exactly what you were doing. This wasn't a panicked, desperate act. You went to a bank teller, you presented a card that wasn't yours, and you took out $4,250 in one transaction.
He gave me the card. He said I could use it.
He said you could use it. He didn't say you could transfer his entire future into a money order for your own apartment. You know that. I know that. Everyone in this room knows that. You took advantage. Now the question is, what am I going to do about it?
I don't have the money, ma'am. I can't give her what I don't have.
You have a car, you have a job, you have a television, furniture, things in your apartment, you have assets, you have the ability to pay, you just don't want to.
If I have to pay her, I'll be homeless again. I'll lose everything.
Perhaps you should have thought about that before you took everything from a 17-year-old boy. Ms. Morrison, do you have any other evidence? Any more texts?
I have a text from her after I confronted her. She said, it was a gift. If you want it back, sue me. That's why I'm here.
Sue me. Those are her words. Let me see that. Yes, it says, Jaden gave me the money. It's not your business. If you have a problem, sue me. That's what it says. Ms. Davenport, you told your sister-in-law to sue you?
I was angry. She was screaming at me, calling me a thief. I was defending myself.
You were defending yourself by challenging her to take you to court, and now you're here, and you're telling me you can't pay. It seems to me you created this situation.
I'm not a thief. I'm a woman who was down on her luck. My family turned their back on me.
Your family took you in, they fed you, they gave you a place to sleep, and in return, you took their son's future and told him to lie about it. That's not them turning their back on you. That's you turning your back on them. Jaden, do you have anything you want to say?
I just want her to give the money back so I can go to school. I don't want my mom to have to work so hard. I was just trying to help, and I messed up.
You didn't mess up. You were being a kind person. Your mistake was trusting someone who didn't deserve that trust. That's not a crime. Taking the money was the crime. Ms. Davenport, you are not a victim here. You are a perpetrator.
I'm not a perpetrator. I made a mistake. I should have communicated better.
This wasn't a communication error. This wasn't a misunderstanding. You knew exactly what you were doing when you walked into that bank and asked for a money order for $4,000. You knew that money wasn't yours. You knew it was for a child's education, and you took it anyway. That's theft.
I didn't think of it as theft, he offered.
He offered you a lifeline. He offered you help. You took his entire savings account. There is a difference. Let's talk about the car again. Do you still have it?
Yes.
What is the value of that car today?
I don't know, maybe $2,000? It's an older car.
So you have a car worth $2,000, you have an apartment, you have a job, you have the capacity to pay, you just don't want to. Ms. Morrison, would you accept the car as payment?
No, ma'am, I need the money. I can't sell a car while I'm working 2 jobs. I need the cash to pay the college directly.
Fair enough. Ms. Davenport, I'm going to ask you one more time. Do you have any way to pay this money back?
I could pay maybe $100 a month. That's all I can afford.
At $100 a month, it would take you over 4 years to pay this back. Jaden will be 21 by then. That doesn't help him pay for his classes now, does it?
I can't do more than that. I have my own bills.
Your own bills, which you created with his money. I'm not interested in a payment plan that takes 4 years. You had 8 months to start paying this back. You paid nothing. You gave him $200 for his birthday and called it a day. That's not a good faith effort. That's an insult.
What do you want me to do, ma'am? Sell my blood?
I want you to take responsibility. I want you to understand that you cannot take $4,850 from a child and expect to walk away without consequence. You told Ms. Morrison to sue you. She did. Now you have to deal with the result.
I just want to move on with my life.
You can move on with your life after you paid back what you stole. Jaden needs to move on with his life, too. He needs to go to college. That's what we're here to facilitate. Ms. Morrison, you said the total was $4,850. Is that exact?
Yes, ma'am, I have the bank statement showing the balance before she took the money and the zero balance after.
I'm looking at it. It's clear. Now, Ms. Davenport, you claim this was a gift from a minor. In the state of California, a minor can make a contract, but it can be disaffirmed. A gift of this magnitude under these circumstances with a minor who didn't understand the full consequences is not going to stand up in my court.
He understood. He's smart. He knew what he was doing.
He's smart, but he's 17. He didn't understand that you would take everything. He thought you would take what you needed for a deposit. He didn't understand that you would buy a car with his textbook money. He didn't understand that you would leave him with nothing. You understood. You're 39. You knew exactly what you were doing.
I was desperate.
Desperate people borrow money. They ask for help. They don't drain a child's savings account and then post pictures of their new car on Facebook. That's not desperation. That's entitlement.
I didn't think he'd miss it that much. He had his whole life ahead of him. He can work and save more.
He can work and save more. That's your attitude. You can work and save more. You're the one with the job. You're the one with the car. You're the one with the apartment. You're the one who took the money. So you're the one who's going to pay it back.
How am I supposed to pay it back if I don't have it?
You will pay it back. You can sell the car. You can get a second job. You can do what Ms. Morrison has been doing for years to save that money. You can do what you should have done in the first place. Take responsibility for your own life instead of taking from a child.
That's not fair. I was in a crisis.
A crisis does not give you the right to commit theft. It does not give you the right to manipulate a minor. It does not give you the right to destroy your own family. You had options. You could have asked for a loan. You could have gone to a shelter. You could have called your brother. You didn't. You chose to take from a child.
My brother is dead. I couldn't call him.
No, your brother is dead. And you took his life insurance money from his son. That's the bottom line. You took money from your dead brother's child. How do you think that looks, Ms. Davenport?
I didn't think about it like that.
No, you didn't think. You acted selfishly. And now you're going to have to face the consequences. I've heard enough. Jaden, you can step down. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Steps down, goes to sit with his mother.
Ms. Morrison, you have presented clear evidence of the money being taken. You have bank statements, text messages, and a credible witness. Ms. Davenport, you have presented no evidence of a contract, no evidence of a clear agreement to gift the entire amount, and no evidence of any effort to repay. Your defense is he gave it to me and I was desperate.
He did give it to me. That's the truth.
He gave you a card. He did not give you permission to liquidate his entire future. The texts you presented show a conversation where you specifically said you didn't want to cause problems with his mother. That tells me you knew what you were doing was wrong. You knew she would be upset. You knew it was a violation, and you did it anyway.
I was trying to be respectful of her, but she's controlling.
She's controlling because she doesn't want her son's college fund to be stolen? Is that your definition of controlling? Because if that's the case, I'm controlling too. I'm about to control the outcome of this case. And the outcome is you owe Ms. Morrison $4,850.
I can't pay that. I'll lose my apartment.
You should have thought about that before you took the money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,850. That's the full amount.
Thank you, ma'am.
Don't thank me yet. Collecting it is another matter, but you have a judgment. You can garnish her wages. You can put a lien on her car. You have options. Ms. Davenport, you can pay this voluntarily or you can have it taken from you. It's your choice.
This is going to ruin me.
No, what's going to ruin you is your own actions. You made a choice. You chose to take money that didn't belong to you. You chose to exploit your nephew. You chose to ignore your sister-in-law's trust. These are the consequences of those choices. You are not the victim. The victim is that 17-year-old boy sitting over there who now has to worry about how he's going to pay for college.
I love him. I didn't mean to hurt him.
You may love him, but you hurt him. You hurt him financially. You hurt him emotionally. You put him in a position where he had to lie to his mother. You damaged his trust in you. That's not love. That's selfishness. You need to look in the mirror and figure out why you thought this was acceptable.
I was just trying to survive.
You were trying to survive by making sure a 17-year-old didn't survive his first year of college. That's what you did. You put your survival ahead of his future. That's not survival. That's predation.
That's a strong word.
It's an accurate word. You took advantage of a child. In any other context, that would be a crime. In my court, it's a debt, and it's a debt you're going to pay. Now, Ms. Morrison, do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am. I just want my son's money back.
You'll get it. It might take time, but you'll get it. Ms. Davenport, I strongly suggest you start making payments, because if you don't, Ms. Morrison will be back in court, and I will be even less sympathetic the second time. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. This case is closed. Jaden, go to school, work hard. Don't let this experience make you cynical. There are good people in the world. Your mother is one of them. Learn from this, but don't let it harden you. You're welcome. Now, both of you, have a good day. That's all.